Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that.
See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
It's time for the Lithia Ford of Boise Postgame Show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view their full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise Postgame Show from Bronco Nation News.
The game-tying three from Max Rice misses. Boise State has to foul, and the Broncos end up falling 66-61 against Washington State. My name is BJ Rains. They kicked me out of the arena, so I apologize. Had to come back to the hotel and do the show. Don't have the proper setup with the microphones and things here, but yeah, the folks in Spokane Arena, I was getting ready to start my show, and they said, oh, no, we're packing up the table. You got to go. So I apologize for the delay. Caught a ride with Bob Bueller and Abe Jackson back to the hotel real quick, and now I am here having to do the post-game show back in the room. By the way, at the Davenport Hotel, is this bottle of water right here, do you think do you think this is complimentary, or am I getting charged for this bottle of water that was sitting on the counter here? Because I would love to have some water, but I'm not sure I want to pay $10 for a bottle of water. So I'm not, guess I have to make a decision here pretty quickly on that. But again, Boise State falls 66-61. I apologize for the delay. We have 66 of you still watching this live. So appreciate you for that. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Grand Teton says easily a $16 bottle of water. That was what I was worried about here. But you know what? May need it after that. The bar was still open down when I walked through the lobby. Maybe I should have stopped off and had a beverage or two. But tough one for Boise State. And we'll get into Max Rice. We'll get into Tyson Degenhart. Omar Stanley, what a positive he was. A career night for Omar Stanley. I mean, if you're not encouraged about that going into Mountain West play, there's not going to be too many big men in the Mountain West that have nights like that. Tyson Degenhart had 10 rebounds, but he struggled from the field tonight, 3 of 13. Max Rice, 2 of 12. So you have 5 of 25 from your two guys coming back to Spokane tonight. They really struggled from the field. But Omar Stanley, 23 points, 6 rebounds, career high, 23 points for Omar Stanley. So when I showed the Max Rice 3 missing there, I was actually trying to show that the play where Roddy Anderson looked like he got fouled and they didn't call it. I'm going to see if I can cue that one up, and then I'll put that in the system here, and we'll play that in just a second as well, because there was a lot of contact that appeared on that drive from Roddy Anderson. 3-8-3-3. Let's pull this up here on the fly. I apologize for this, but here's the call late in the game. Let me know if there's a foul here. Sure looks like there's some contact. 2 different players. It looked like fouled there. David Holm not making the call, and then Boise State has to foul. But Roddy Anderson, man, it sure looks like you could even call a foul on either guy. Looked like certainly 45 got him. Looked like the other guy got him as well. No call, and Boise State has to foul. And again, they end up getting a chance, but Max Rice misses the 3. And I know some folks are saying, hey, final 2 possessions of the game, you don't get Chibuzo Agbo the ball there. He wasn't open on that play, and Max Rice was wide open. I mean, I know Max Rice was struggling in this game, but you're not going to get a more wide open 3 for one of your best 3-point shooters Max Rice has to take that three there, and it missed, but he was wide open, and he had made 15 threes in the last 3 games. So I know folks were saying Max Rice has been struggling. The last 3 games, Max Rice was 15 of 26 from downtown. Like, Max Rice has to take that three if he's wide open. I thought there was a lot of contact that was not fouled. And again, the officials didn't lose this game. Boise State was 5 of 20 from 3-point range. Didn't shoot great overall, 35.9% from the field. But that's a tough one because it looks like Washington State did come back and win the rebounding battle 40-37 too. But it did seem like when Boise State was down at their end of the floor, they were not calling a lot of contact. I mean, Roddy Anderson on that one, but I thought Omar Stanley on multiple times drove to the basket and didn't get a foul call. He was, posting guys up. Tyson Degenhardt didn't get very many foul calls when he was going up. I thought that it did, not to say it was officiated one-sided, but I thought they let some contact go when when Boise State had the ball. And then when Washington State was down there in the paint, they were calling some stuff. And that 5th foul on, Omar Stanley, I mean, he went straight up. I mean, I thought Omar Stanley went straight up. And so, you guys want to say Max Rice has only been good against awful competition. Yeah, I guess you missed the 28 points he had against San Diego State last year. It is what it is. He got off to a rough start, but he had made 15 threes and he had some open looks tonight and just didn't knock them down. So last 3 games, he had 15 threes. When you're open, you're open. So I don't know, he just missed some shots tonight. So, I mean, go back and look at, it's easy to get on the guy now for when he has a rough game, but you guys weren't saying anything, the other night. And he had some big games last year as well. So Max Rice, had a rough night, but so did Tyson Degenhardt. I don't see, Tyson Degenhardt was 3 of 13. Folks going to rip on him. Max Rice was 2 of 12. It was a rough game for him. Coming back home, wanted to play well, and it didn't work out for him. But certainly, an opportunity to get a big win tonight falls by the wayside. Again, if you guys want to say Max Rice should be benched, you want to call me a Max Rice homer for not wanting to criticize him, it is what it is. I don't think Max Rice is the reason they lost the game tonight. If he hits 1 or 2 of those threes, maybe they win, but he had just made 15 threes in the last 3 games. A three-pointer is a three-pointer, regardless of who you're playing. He was open tonight and just didn't hit the look. So I'm not going to call for him to be benched and say that he's the worst player on the team. If you want to call me a homer or Max Rice, apologist, go for it. But I there was a lot of other issues in this game tonight. Again, Boise State as a team just couldn't hit many shots. I mean, Chibuzo Abo, he missed 3 of his 5 3-point attempts as well. He was 2 of 5. But overall, Boise State just really struggled. Keene, Meadow, both missed a 3-pointer tonight. I guess Keene did. Yeah, Meadow had a wide open one in the corner. Wide open 3 for Andrew Meadow and couldn't get it to fall. Let's see. I'm looking at the stats here. The bench only didn't play very much, and the bench only had 2 points. I'm not sure Jace Whiting played in the second half. He had 5:58 minutes, and I think that might have all been in the first half. Roddy Anderson was another positive. He's getting to the lane. He's looking more confident out there. He did have a couple bad turnovers, and one of them led to an easy layup at the other end. There was multiple times in this game where Boise State was on the cusp of, trying to go up 2 possessions, and instead they would miss a shot and they'd come down and either foul, or there was a couple huge threes for Washington State tonight as well. So overall, I just thought that it was a game that Boise State could have won, had a chance to win, and just didn't. So tough one for Boise State, no doubt. And again, they, it's a quad 1 game right now. So is it a bad loss? No. But is this going to be a loss on Selection Sunday where they say, can't put them in? They lost to Washington State. I don't think so. It's a neutral site quad 1 game right now. The bigger issue is you just can't lose too many games. They're not going to put in a Mountain West team that has 12 losses. So every loss, regardless of who it is, makes it a little tougher to make the NCAA tournament. So certainly Boise State has some work to do in conference play. There's no doubt about it. But, you go look at the Ken Pom metrics and all that, and Boise State was supposed to lose this game, guys. Boise State lost 1 spot at Ken Pom, so 73-74. So this was not some horribly damaging loss. They were supposed to lose by 2. They lost by 5. It was about what was supposed to happen. Boise State loses. And again, I heard some folks right after the game just saying, the season's over. They're not going to the tournament, all this kind of stuff. And I just, sorry, it's just not not the way it is. Look at the last couple of years. They were losing to horrible teams. I mean, I put it on social media, but 2 years ago, they lost to Cal State Bakersfield, who was 276th at KenPom. Last year, they lost to South Dakota State, who was like 170-something. They lost to Santa Clara, who was 130-something. I mean, Boise State is losing to teams in the 50s and 60s right now. Like, these are not bad losses. So if I'm a homer, if I'm an apologist, if I'm typically a half glass full guy, but I'm looking at the stats and I'm being a realist here. I know if you're a diehard fan and you may see it differently, and I totally get that. But it is what it is, and it's not a loss that's a damaging loss that's going to keep you out of the tournament. It's just not. So I just, do you need to start winning some of these games? Sure. But you already have won some of these games too. I mean, St. Mary's is number 41 at KenPom. San Francisco is number 60 at KenPom. You have 2 top 60 wins. Again, they're right on par with where they have been the last couple of years. I ask you to go back and look at the games last year. They lost to South Dakota State, who was 174th, and they lost to Charlotte, who was 106th. Boise State then lost to Santa Clara and Nevada right around this time of year, and they were sitting at 10-4 on the season. If going into the new year, if Boise State beats Utah Valley next week, guess what? They're going to be 10-4 going into the new year, but their 4 losses will all be to teams that are in much better shape than South Dakota State and Charlotte. So their worst loss right now was tonight. Number 65 at KenPom, Washington State, is their worst loss of the season. So I'm just not going to write off Boise State after this game. I'm sorry. You go back 2 years ago, again, they won the Mountain West tournament, but they would have got an at-large bid to the tournament. They lost to UC Irvine, who was 133rd, and they lost to Cal State Bakersfield, who was 276th. Boise State was 3-4 on the season. They're 8-4 right now. So I just the folks that want to say the season's over and want to really, bash on Leon and stuff like that's fine. That's your prerogative. You're able to do that. Some folks were not going to be able to change their minds. But until Boise State has that horrible loss like Utah Valley next week would be, like some of these games, at San Jose State would be. But until that, they're in an okay spot. They're going to have to, beat the Colorado States of the world. That becomes a massive home game. They need to win that. They're going to need to win against San Diego State at home. They're going to need to beat some of these good teams in the league. But until they don't, it's just way too early. People got on Tommy Ahlquist, and it proved obviously that some of those comments were, ended up not being true. But he was correct in the fact that it was early at the time, and it's early right now. It's just too early. They're 8-4. They have 4 losses to good teams. Would you have loved to have had this? Sure. But I still think you have a chance to finish very highly in this league with how strong the Mountain West is in the computer rankings. Boise State is going to have a lot of chances to get some big wins and move up in the rankings and things like that. So yeah, I get it. It's not ideal from that standpoint for Boise State to lose this game, but it's not a loss that's going to keep Boise State out of the NCAA tournament. I thought Isaac Jones played very well tonight for Washington State, and I assume most of you know the story, but he took a visit to Boise State. And I think that there was a chance that they were going to get him at Boise State coming out of junior college. He took a visit, and then Jeremy Harden, the assistant coach that was at the JUCO, went to Idaho and was able to pull him to Idaho with him. And then now Jeremy Harden went to Washington State and was able to get him to go to Washington State with him there. And Jeremy Harden was on the staff at Boise State, I think in a GA role or something several years ago. So Isaac Jones is one that kind of got away from Boise State, and he was huge tonight. 21 points. And had 5 rebounds, and he drew 7 fouls as well. Was making his free throws, 7 of 10 at the line. So I thought number 13, Isaac Jones, had a big game. And then there were some other guys that had some big games as well. I thought number 2, Miles Rice, hit a couple of huge shots. So Boise State just couldn't make enough shots tonight. 5 of 20 from downtown, and 23 of 64 overall. Only shot 35.9%. So Max Rice and Tyson Degenhart, they talked after the loss. I asked Leon Rice, I asked Leon about the foul call pretty early on, and interesting answer from him on the Roddy Anderson no call there, or lack of answer, I guess, from Leon Rice. But I need to take a quick 90-second timeout. Don't go anywhere. Stick with us, please. And we'll hear from Leon Rice and Tyson Degenhart in 90 seconds here on the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show here at Bronco Nation News.
All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com for all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs. Check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com.
All right, it is 12:15 in the morning back in Boise, and feels like a football post-game show here being this late, but still 70 of you watching this live. Appreciate you guys for sticking with us. And again, a lot of you may be watching this tomorrow, and that's appreciate that as well. BroncoNationNews.com. I'm going to have a full post-game story up after this as well. But again, we're in the Cutwater Studios here in the hotel. More than 30 flavors, pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Quite the day ahead of me tomorrow. I'll be flying back to Boise, unpack, repack, and then the Rains family's heading out to St. Louis for a few days tomorrow night. So I've got about a 6-hour layover in Boise, so to speak, and then taking the kids and the wife and heading to St. Louis for Christmas. So hopefully you guys are all able to be with family and friends this time of year and have a good couple of days for Christmas. We will not have morning shows for most of the days next week. We will have a Tyson Degenhart show, I think, on Tuesday night, and then we'll have a Friday morning show, I believe, next week with Jay Tuss when I'm back in Boise. We're going to take a couple days off, just heads up for Christmas and that week, and give Jay and Johnny and Prater a couple days there the holiday week. But let's hear from Leon Rice and Tyson Degenhart. Leon Rice, Tyson Degenhart. Again, I asked Leon Rice about the foul call pretty early on in this. Let's hear from Leon Rice. And again, this was in a press conference setting. Another reason why the show's delayed, I apologize, but there was some Spokane media that wanted to talk to Tyson. So we had to do a big press conference after the game, and I couldn't get him on the show. But here's Leon Rice, Tyson Degenhart after the loss.
Yeah, it seemed like we had a lot of balls just rattle in and rattle out. And, I love the way our guys competed, responded, and, Cougars battled, and it was a highly competitive game. And I think both teams played really, really hard and really, really, pretty good defense by both teams. And it was just a battle, and a couple more made shots at the end by them. A big three in transition. That was a crucial shot, I think. So great battle.
It's obviously a physical game, but
yeah.
Abuzo hits that corner three, and then you get the turnover, and then Rodney had the drive there. Did it look like any contact from your angle? Or?
Next question. I mean, what am I going to say? Yeah, like. You guys probably saw it better than I did. What do you think? BJ, was there contact on that?
I had a similar angle to you did. It looked like it, yeah.
Okay, you've answered your own question.
But obviously, then they make the 2 free throws. You're down 3 at that point. So big swing there. But then, Max had the look.
Yeah, I think he was surprised how open we got him. But, that's, that was a pretty good look. But, these guys, the best thing about them is, We've played a heck of a schedule, and it's made us better, and it keeps making us better, and we're going to enjoy Christmas. I want these guys to go. We've worked hard in these 2 months, especially, and with all the travel and the good teams we played, and that's going to pay dividends to us. I mean, that was a league game tonight, a road league game, and there's not a lot of teams in our league that have. None that have done what we've done as far as played the schedule we've played, and we're going to reap dividends for that.
Max and Tyson coming back, and they were 5 of 25
yeah.
from the field. Were they just trying a little too hard?
No. That just, it seemed like both of them had 10 of them that like, oh, how did that not go in? It just rattled in and out. That's basketball sometimes, and shooters got to shoot. I want them to shoot. And, if they stopped shooting, they would have been, I would have had a problem. So, those are guys that they're our ride or dies. We hang with them.
And a career night for Omar Stanley. Just knowing you can build on that going into conference
Right.
play here.
You saw him grow up tonight. I mean, not grow up, but develop even more as a player. And, that's what I've known. I know what he can become, and he's on his way to becoming it. He's still scratching the surface because, there's things he can do. And the beauty of Omar is he's so coachable that, he's improving his technique defensively, and then he doesn't put it in the referee's hands for that last call.
Doesn't look like it was a difficult night under the basket for you this evening. Was it just frustrating for you to get by some of their bigs there tonight, or was it just not meant for you, or what was it?
I just couldn't make one. Just felt like I got some good looks and got them up in the air a little bit and just didn't make them. And yeah, that's about it.
Obviously, this is a much different night from when you were a freshman here at the arena. What's it like, coming back home though, and all those people cheering for you?
It's really cool. Very appreciative of all the people that I've come across in Spokane, and to see a lot of them in the stands, it's really heartwarming to me, and I just wish we could have gotten the win tonight.
Coach will talk about how it was just a night where some of your shots rattled out. Is it maybe easier to not accept the loss, but know that, hey, half of those shots go in and we're right there. It's not like we lost by 4, 5, 6 possessions.
A little bit, Obviously, it was a close game, and we had a lot of shots that may have rattled in and out. But it's just the game of basketball, and some things go your way and some don't.
And Coach, I noticed Mark Few was sitting behind your bench. Just what's it like to have him come in and support you, as a head coach?
Well, our friendship means the world. It's more than a friendship. It's pretty cool. That's what's neat about coming back here. There's so much history here. Not just Mark. Coach Munson was here, and there's so many people that mean so much to all of us. That we go. I mean, Tyson's known all these people forever, and they love him. And Max, grew up with all these people, and sometimes that is a factor. They do want to play well in front of their folks, but those guys always want to play well. I mean, it's not, they're out there playing. And, but it is special, and that's why. And this has been a great series. I mean, it's no fun to lose. And Kyle's had to do it twice. We've had every single game has been a battle, and entertaining college basketball. And so, it's neat that we schedule it. And I like coming back Spokane. Hopefully, I think he likes coming to Boise. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't have as many friends as I have up here, but it was a great battle, and I wish could have ended a little differently, but that's sports, and that's competition. And when you play good teams, somebody's got to lose. I mean, and I think Washington State's a good team. Kyle's done a great job with them. They coach the heck out of them, and they make it difficult, and it's different. And, they had some good individual performances tonight by some guys, and that made some shots. And so tip a cap to them, and it'll make us better, which that's the beauty of our guys. They'll get better because of this.
Hey, that's number 13, Jones. What do you think that just like match happening with you guys tonight?
He was very physical, and he got to his spots and just rose up and made some shots, and credit to him. And he got to the foul line a lot. I mean, you see 10 free throws. It's hard in a game that close.
Coach, what did you think of your zone offense?
Well, we had it in first team All Mountain West hands a lot. It's a pretty good spot to have it. Feel good about that. And then some of those threes that, a couple of them go, like even Andrews. Like Andrew came in, let it rip, and that thing just popcorn down. So, when you make shots, you're like, oh, that was great. When you miss them, you're like, oh, darn it. So, but we were getting it around the rim, and there was just a lot of physicality in there.
Well, there you go. There's Leon Rice and Tyson Degenhart. We're going to hear from Omar Stanley as well. I had a chance to catch up with him one-on-one. We're taking your comments as well. Mark Few was right behind Boise State's bench. That was pretty cool to see Mark Few supporting Leon right there behind the bench. Saw Mrs. Few there as well, and Robin Rice and Mary Burns, Mike Burns' wife up here. So a lot of families and stuff, and it was a pretty cool opportunity. A ton of people in Tyson Degenhart's family were here as well, and obviously Boise State would have liked to have gotten the win. We got to take one more quick timeout. Hope you'll stick with us. 90-second break. Thank our loyal sponsors that are making this show free for you, and then we'll hear Omar Stanley one-on-one with Bronco Nation News. Career night for Omar. We'll talk to him next, back in 90 seconds.
Bronco Nation News is sponsored by Tommy Alquist and Ball Ventures Alquist, Idaho's premier commercial real estate development company. BVA projects specialize in office, retail, flex, medical, and industrial spaces located at some of the most strategic and visible locations in the valley. Need a developer? Looking for new space? Think BVA. At BVA, we are Idaho's developer. The Nicolason family and SON management have proudly been operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. One of the first to make a 7-figure donation to the Lyle Smith Society, they've also stepped up their support of Boise State athletics with the Taco Bell men's and women's basketball endowed scholarships. The Nicolason family and SON management have committed at least $310,000 by 2026. Get more information on their financial support of Boise State athletics and find information on applying to work at Taco Bell at tacobellworks.com. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud supporter of Boise State athletics and the official car and truck of the Broncos. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Bronco student athletes through NIL deals, including providing Ford vehicles to Taylon Green and Riley Smith from the football team and Paige Barsh from the volleyball team. Rain's family purchased our F-150 from Lithia Ford. Couldn't be happier with the purchase. Check out the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the electric Mustang Mach-E at Lithia Ford, and make sure to check out their full inventory of vehicles at lithiafordboise.com. The Blue and Orange Store is the perfect spot to get all your gear for your next Bronco game. The Blue and Orange Store has official Nike apparel, including jerseys, shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and more. Wear what the Broncos wear and get it at the Blue and Orange Store, the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall, or get free shipping on a $40 order online at theblueandorangestore.com.
All right, back here on Bronco Nation News. Again, thank you to Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor of the postgame show here. Thank you to all of our great sponsors for making this possible, and thank you to you guys for sticking with us here at 1227 back in Boise. Let's hear from Omar Stanley. Boise State center had the career night for him. Let's see what his final numbers were. 23 points, 6 rebounds. That's a career high, 23 points for Omar Stanley. Played 30 minutes, was 9 of 15 from the field, and made all 5 of his free throw attempts as well. So Omar Stanley was playing really, really well and had a couple huge blocks too. That one block where the guy tried to dunk on him, just an insane block for Omar Stanley. And I had a chance to catch up with him a short time ago.
Tough one. You know what I mean? There's some calls, that we thought should have went our way. But there's definitely, some jobs. We could have did a better job as well, you know what I mean, to not even put ourselves in that position. Obviously, we wish we would have came out with the win, but we'll be better. We'll bounce back hard.
A tough fifth foul on you there?
For sure, but it is what it is. You live and you learn. So luckily the ref came by and talked to me. He let me know what I did wrong. So that's just a sign of improvement and growth. So
in a physical game like this, where it's back and forth, and both coaches and every player yelling, wanting foul calls. I mean, just what's it like playing in a game like this, where some stuff on one end seems like it's getting called and it's maybe not at the other, and
you live for stuff like this. You know what I mean? You want to play in these kind of environments. Whether you're being, whether the fouls aren't going your way. And if your coach is arguing for fouls for you, then that's what you want. So it's a blessing even being in a game like this.
So how hard was it for you then to not be able to be out there the last couple of minutes?
Man, it stunk. Obviously, obviously I want to be out there with my team. I want to help them out. I can still help them out on the bench, but it'd be better if I was on the court. So it is what it is.
What career night for you? Points and stuff. I mean, you were just having your way inside. You're hitting your free throws. I mean, how did it feel out there for you personally?
It felt. I wouldn't say necessarily say it felt easy. But my teammates did a good job getting me the ball. I definitely appreciate them when things weren't clicking their way. I just felt like I had to step up a little bit, and I did that. Hopefully, I hope we could have came out with the win.
Well, when you decided to leave St. John's and look for another opportunity, I mean, what is this kind of what you were dreaming of, to be an impact player like this and have a chance to have big games like this?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to have impact. I know the player I can be. I think I haven't even touched the ceiling yet with that, and so I think I could be even better.
How comfortable are you starting to just feel here and get with this team and this offense and stuff?
Yeah, just like I told the radio show, it helps a lot when everybody's starting to click. You know what I mean? The transfer starter like Cam, Roddy, you know what I mean? And then also to help the other guys like Puzo, you know, just our bucket getters. And so it makes it easy when they're helping us and we're helping them.
Which block were you more? What's your favorite?
Probably the one where he tried to dunk on me.
Yeah.
Right down, yeah.
I mean, you have a career night from the points, and maybe that's the play that stands out to a lot of people is the block. I mean, you take pride in that end, that being able to do that too.
Well, I wasn't able to dunk on anybody's head today, so you know what I mean. That's also demoralizing. So that's you know what I mean. Whatever I can do to get in their heads. So
I mean, I know it's a tough loss, but you guys get a few days off for Christmas now. I mean, how do you guys kind of rebound here and kind of turn the page?
So my high school coach, you know, always said 24-hour rule. You know, we until tomorrow morning, you know, we forget about this. And when we do, you know, when we go home, we focus on Christmas. You know what I mean? We leave this stuff in the past. When we get back to Boise, that's when it's time to get back. You know, we should always keep it in the back of our mind though when we do go home. But we gotta enjoy the time with our family. You know what I mean? Like that's why it only lasts so long. You know, family's forever. So
I guess final thing. I mean, just how you tough loss, but I mean, obviously you guys have still done some nice things. A lot of season left. I mean, how do you feel big picture about where you guys are at?
Yeah, man, we've improved drastically. And so I'm not, you know, I have full confidence in this team.
There you go. Omar Stanley, one of the many players that are going to head home for the holidays here. Omar Stanley heading back to Kansas City in the morning. You've got most of the team heading back out on the road. It always makes this game tough. And I know Washington State had it, so it's not an excuse. They dealt with the same thing. But a lot of guys had flights out early tomorrow morning to go see their family. I think you've only got 3 or 4 players, you know, including the Max Rice, Cade Rice, I think Mo Silla and maybe Alex Martin are like the only 4 players actually going back to Boise on the flight tomorrow. Most of the players are heading straight home, and the NCAA rules allow for them to do that, which is why a lot of schools do this, where you do a road game or a neutral site game, and they're able to pay one way for them to go home to see their families for Christmas. They get a pretty good sized break. They'll be off the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, and they'll all meet back in Boise and start practice on the 26th for that game against Utah Valley. And that game is on the 28th, I believe, 28th, 29th, coming up, Utah Valley on the Friday night. And then obviously conference play will get going at San Jose State after this. I wanted to read a couple tweets here from, here we go. T3 Bracketology. I know the Morales brothers and some folks were chatting with them on social media today, but the T3 Bracketology is a guy that does a lot of the tournament projections and studies resumes and stuff, and he's one of the better ones out there. And he said, Boise State is in a much better position heading into conference play than some may be saying. Rightfully so, not a tourney resume today, but it's 12/21, not mid-March. 6 teams have an at-large shot in the Mountain West, not just the perceived 5. He says, definitely need a statement road win over the top 5, preferably San Diego State or Colorado State, but not necessarily. It's a risk mitigation exercise. Keep stacking home quality wins. The Mountain West full of opportunity. He says some people really miss the importance of avoiding the bad losses, which is what I've been trying to say. Teams can eliminate themselves a lot faster than they can lock in a bid. Boise has not eliminated itself and has 3 non-conference wins that are all likely to age better than they are today. St. Mary's, VCU, and San Francisco. He said, I can understand the disappointment of a missed opportunity today that likely would have put Boise in the first 8 out for almost every reputable bracket person as of today, but it doesn't hurt them at all. You lose this in March with less chances to go, then there's more panic. So for those of you guys that are, trying to put this in perspective, there you go. That's a reputable bracketologist saying tonight's loss does not hurt them at all, and there's plenty of opportunities remaining. So I've been saying it, but you really just have to avoid the bad losses, and so that's what Boise State has done, and they're going to have so many opportunities in conference play to pick up some good wins and to help those computer numbers that they're still in a pretty good spot here. They just have to take care of the games they're supposed to take care of, start to pick a few off, and they're still in a pretty good spot for Boise State at this point. So tough one tonight, 66-61. Again, just needed more from Max Rice and Tyson Degenhart. 5 of 25 from the field for those guys. Just didn't get enough from them. And but the positive story, I think Omar Stanley, obviously, but I think Roddy Anderson was a positive one as well. Roddy Anderson really did some nice things tonight. A couple of those drives early in the game. And then he had that hammer slam on the fast break as well. So he definitely speeds up a little too much at times. He had a bad turnover trying to do too much, and then that led to an easy layup at the other end. So he's still not there yet, but I thought you're definitely seeing encouraging signs from Roddy Anderson, which I think is a good sign moving forward here for Boise State. So 66-61 is your final. Again, thank you to all of our great sponsors. BVA Dev, make sure you check them out. If you're looking for new space, looking for a developer, Idaho's developer is Boise BVA Dev, and our friends at Ball Ventures, Alquist and Tommy Alquist. We appreciate Taco Bell for sponsoring our interviews that you just heard. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com if you're looking for a job. You can also find out information on how much they're donating to Boise State with all the men's and women's basketball endowed scholarships. So we're very appreciative of Taco Bell. Looking forward to having a show out there at Taco Bell around that Colorado State game coming up. So hopefully you can make plans to join us. I think the Wednesday morning after the Colorado State game, we'll probably be at Taco Bell next on Broadway there. So thank you to both of them. Thank you to the Blue and Orange store as well. Again, if you're looking for that Boise State gear, they got those Mountain West Championship hats and jersey or shirts and all that stuff from the Mountain West Championship. If you're looking for that, go ahead and check it out, and you'll be able to get that stuff as well from the bowl game. They have the LA Bowl shirts and stuff too at blueandorangestore.com, or there in the mall on the second floor. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Idaho Central Credit Union. The Tyson Degenhardt Show is coming up on the 26th. I think we're going to try it the night of the 26th, the night after Christmas, depending on what time Boise State has practice that day. But looking forward to the Tyson Degenhardt Show. Idaho Central Credit Union sponsoring our road trip coverage and helping us get back to Boise tomorrow. ICCU.com, check them out. There's a branch pretty much on every corner. And obviously their mobile app, the eBranch mobile banking, is so easy to use. So check them out at Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. So appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Go subscribe if you can. BNN 50 deals, that promo code. Going to get to work on my story now, and we'll talk about this loss and what it means and put that in perspective. And when you wake up tomorrow, you'll be able to read that at BroncoNationNews.com. We got a Mike Prater season wrap-up column coming here in the next couple of days as well. So make sure you're subscribed so you can read that. Again, the promo code BNN50 deal gets you a full year of exclusive content at BroncoNationNews.com for just $50. So you heard the football news. And obviously they had the hiring of the coach. Now they're looking for a quarterback. Tyler Stockton, who we first reported this morning, was joining the staff, we made official. And then obviously they're looking at a quarterback. We heard about Brock Purdy's brother maybe being an option. So keep it tuned. We'll have full coverage even throughout the holidays when stuff breaks at BroncoNationNews.com. So thank you guys for checking us out. Tell your friends. Subscribe on social media if you can. Subscribe on YouTube. It's free on YouTube. The show is a free show, and we'd love for you to join our YouTube channel and tell your friends and help us out. So thanks again to everybody for watching the show. Sorry it's so late. Again, we got kicked out of the arena and had to come back to the hotel, but going to get cracking on a story, and then it's bright and early for our flight to Boise tomorrow morning. So at least it's a short one. Nice quick, like 45-minute flight back to Boise. So thank you guys. We will no show tomorrow. I'm going to try to connect with Jay Tuss and do one in the afternoon, maybe, but there may not be a show for a couple days. So if we don't talk to you in the short term, hope you guys have a great holidays, great Christmas. Spend some time with your friends and family, and hug those, and spend time with your loved ones. That when you never know when it'll be your last chance to do that. So always never take your family for granted. Go spend some time with your family. Hopefully, everybody can travel safe and have a great couple of days for Christmas. And we'll still have plenty of coverage coming to BroncoNationNews.com. Just don't know when the next live show will be in the near future. May take a couple of days off. So we'll keep you posted on social media. But thank you guys sincerely. It's been a lot of fun. And I appreciate your support with the subscriptions and with the comments and things on the shows, and for reading the stories. So tell your friends, go subscribe if you can, and I hope you have a great Christmas, and we'll talk to you all soon. Again, 66-61, tough loss for Boise State, but let's put it in perspective. Not the end of the world, and better times ahead. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Bronco Nation News, live from Spokane after the 66-61 loss for Boise State. We'll get a story up on the site soon. Again, Bronco Nation News. Bob Beeler was here for the radio side, but other than that, the only local Boise media outlet that made the trip. Neither local paper made the trip. No TV stations made the trip. It's Bronco Nation News, the only outlet that made the trip here. So support us if you can with a subscription. We'd love to have your support. And our goal and our plan is to be at every Boise State basketball game, home or road, the rest of the season. So San Jose, we'll be there. Air Force, Wyoming, we'll be there. So looking to give you coverage you can't get anywhere else, and hopefully you'll take advantage of that and subscribe and Appreciate you guys. Have a great Christmas. Have a great couple of days. We'll talk to you soon. Wake up tomorrow and read my story. Again, 66-61, the final from Spokane. We'll talk to you guys later. Bronco Nation News Live, Bronco Nation News.